we'll have this discussion.
Discussion? What discussion?
This is a discussion.
Combustion.
Coming to you from Denver, Colorado, this is Discussion Combustion Podcast with your hosts, Kevin Batstone and Arthur Raw.
Yeah,
fun to
it
create
is.
stuff.
Yeah, I want to create another channel too.
Do you?
Yeah, an art channel.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. I think that, just a little bit more videography to my videos, I think would be a lot of fun.
So would the art channel be underneath Spirit Forest? Or
It'd be
channel?
another channel called like Spirit Forest Art or something.
Because don't you have a separate Instagram for that?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that would work.
I do.
You're already set up for that.
Yeah, I'm already set up for that, and I just think it would be really cool to be up in the mountains and painting and stuff. You see other YouTubers, because I'll like look for ideas to paint. And I'll go on YouTube and stuff too, and I see other artists that are doing stuff. And some of theirs is more of a vlog. Mine probably wouldn't be a vlog. It'd be like an 8-minute video of me painting something.
Kind of
cool.
like a time lapse of it.
Yeah.
I think that'd be so fun. I think that would be a great. I mean, because painting is timeless, right?
Yeah.
Like that's been done since before photography.
Right.
So you're entering in this like timeless act.
Yeah.
And so there's something nice about spending your time doing things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then people appreciate it because it takes talent to really dial in the painting and get the lighting good. Yeah. Like the only painting I've ever kind of done successfully was one that we did on a painting class.
Okay.
So they taught us how to do all of it.
I've been teaching some of those classes.
Have
It's
you?
been fun, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's been a lot of fun. So, just getting people to, a lot of times it's more self-confidence, just like, hey, it's art. It could be anything, If you want to paint your tree purple, paint it purple, it doesn't matter. Just express yourself,
Yeah, it's your creative freedom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We all got to have outlets. Like the outdoors is part of my outlet. Art's part of my outlet, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Music for me.
Music?
Oh, yeah, that's definitely the art I was good at. I was not good at drawing, painting, any of that stuff, and I got really into Bob Ross in the 90s. I would get dressed up as Halloween. That's how much I love the guy.
Did you really?
He was epic. We don't have accidents, just happy little mistakes. I love that. His outlook on everything was great. It was a fun show to watch, and I would try to, recreate some of the paintings he would do, and I didn't have it.
Yeah.
So I picked up a guitar, and that worked for me. That was my escape.
Yeah. Like my daughter, she does art as well. Madison, she does art and she does music too. So you got to have some outlets,
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps, and everybody's gonna have their own.
Yeah.
So like, whatever yours is, just put down your phone maybe and take a little time in your head and think about your thoughts and figure out what's really gonna make you feel satisfied.
Yeah.
Because that's what it comes down to is like feeling accomplished about your day. Because, we only got every day once, right? Mm-hmm. So if you can make the most out of every day, then you're going to have a happy life. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how I look at it. I've been trying to challenge myself with a lot of things recently, and it's fun. It's,
like what is one of your challenges?
Well, I want to lose weight, so I'm working on drinking less, and it's been a difficult one. But I know I'm leaning on that substance abuse. I've had substance abuse problems in my past, so I recognize that. And so that's one where I just want to drink less. I drink like 5 to 7 on average a night, which is a lot. Mm-hmm. I'd like to bring that down to like maybe skipping a day or two and then having like 3 or 4 when I do.
Yep.
So, or like a push-up challenge, or like I try to walk a mile at least like 3 to 4 times a week. Little tangible things.
Yeah.
So it's all about the little tangible things. It's not a big goal because it's easy to get discouraged about a huge goal. You just got to break it into little tasks.
Yep.
Like, I want to lose weight, so, like, drinking less would help. Going on mile walks would help. So it's like you break it down into little tasks instead of just trying to be like, oh, I got to lose weight, I got to go to the gym, and, like, you're thinking of all these things. Just
people get overwhelmed.
Yeah, do something little. Something that's going to challenge yourself, but then you feel fulfilled when you're doing those things. Like, look, you're a badass. Okay, I could not do things that you do, and like I don't have that gusto to get out there and go freeze and like shoot a video, and so like that probably checks your box out, and you're like, that makes you feel satisfied. And you're like, man, I did that. Like, it felt good.
Yeah. I like to challenge myself. That's what I do. I mean, one of my fears is cold. It was one of my fears. So it's like, and I did the baby steps like you're talking about. So like I would go up to the mountains when it's really cold and I'd wait until like the sun is set and I'd just be there, you know, and then I'd pack up and leave. And then I'd wait a little bit longer and I'd pack up and leave. And then eventually I started staying the night out in the winter time. And so I just got used to it. But yeah, cold was a fear of mine because I have that syndrome where your hands turn white and your feet turn white.
Yeah.
And it always scares me. And now I just kind of figured out the right skill. I have the right gear, you know what I mean? And it's taken a while. It's where now I'm at my 6th year, you know, of doing it. And so it's taken 6 years to get me to this point where it's like, yeah, I'm going to go out in the winter and I'm going to pull up a tent and, you know, camp in the snow, you know. I do have other goals. Like I want to be up on a mountaintop and camp up there, you know. So it's like I'm going to start going up in elevation, you know, is what I'm going to end up doing. So eventually I'm going to get to that goal, you know.
How high up? What's the highest that you think you want to camp at?
I'm thinking 11 or 12.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 11
so
or 12,000
right at Timberline
feet.
almost.
Yeah, right. Yeah, at Timberline. So I'm
So you
already.
just have a little firewood and things of that nature.
Yeah, well, and I don't think I'm going to be hauling up firewood. So like I've been training myself for no fire camping.
That's intense.
It's intense. Yeah.
I've never done that. I've never camped without a fire, even in the summer, winter. Well, I don't do winter camping. I tried St. Mary's once at St. Mary's Glacier.
Okay.
In late, I think it was late October, maybe early November.
Oh, that's
and
cold.
It was windy and cold. I couldn't get the fire going.
Yep.
You know, because the winds were so brutal that I ended up packing out.
Yeah.
You know, I got all the way up there and said, I'm not going to be able to make it through the night.
It takes a certain mindset. You know, you got to have that certain mindset. And you have to be, and I think I explained in one of my videos too, that you got to find like the positive part of it. You know what I mean? Like when you're out there, it sucks. I mean, I'll admit it. Like winter camping sucks. But like you say, it's like a challenge. I want to challenge myself, you know? So I'm going to go out there and I'm like, things aren't always going to go smooth. Like I have brought like those hand warmers and stuff like that, and they didn't work. They expired. You know, and I was actually on one of my videos, I'm like, shoot, what am I going to do? You know what I mean?
yeah.
So then it's like, you got to think of something else to do. So I'm heating up water, you know, and I've heated up water and I put it in my sleeping bag. And then the water spilled all over my sleeping bag. But, you know, it's like, I can still do this. I can do this, you know.
A lot of it's is mental, right?
Oh, it's totally
when
mental.
it comes to survival, you know, a lot of it is mental toughness.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot of mental. And I think I have it, though. You know what I mean? I really do.
I think you demonstrate that pretty well on the channel.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still out there doing it.
Yeah. You know, I'll get some criticism, but, you know, people sitting on their couch will type in a comment or something like, oh, she
They're not
ain't
out there
doing
doing
that.
it.
I was like, no, it's really -10 out, and I'm out here, you know. And I have a little A-frame tent. I call it my Viking tent. And that one, I do have a stove in it, and the warmest I can get it is maybe 30 degrees with the fire like raging in it, you know. And that's when it's like, that's the -5 degrees, -10 degree camping, you know.
That's pretty intense.
Oh, that part's intense. There was a couple times like in one video I could not get a fire to start. You know, I was doing everything. All the Strike Anywhere matches, hate those. Don't use those. I went through 12 of those. They couldn't get that to go. My lighter was too cold. Even though I put it in my inner pockets and stuff, my lighter was too cold. Lighter wasn't working. The only thing I got to work was my flint and steel. The old school way. And I had just had some I had some tinder there already. I don't remember if it was like a cotton ball or something like. I can't remember because it was 2 years ago. But I got that fire going, and I'm like, oh my God, I almost had to quit. Like, if I didn't get that fire going, I would have to leave all my gear there and just get in my car, you know what I mean, and warm up. But I was like, I could do this, you know? Like, I got this drive.
That's good.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to challenge myself that way, I feel like.
Yeah, it is. And I hope I mean, I don't want to inspire people that aren't prepared for that. Because everyone needs to know, like, it took me 6 years to get to this point. Don't just start jumping into winter camping, especially here in Colorado. Like, you got to be prepared. Like, I was on the search and rescue team, you know what I mean? I've had training. I have all this kind of training. So it's like, be prepared. Don't just go out there and just, I'm going to try winter camping. Do what I did. Little baby steps. Start staying a little bit later. Start hiking a little bit later.
Even if it's not inspiring people to go hiking, because sometimes I'll be thinking like, well, I know Tammy's dropping videos right now. Like, what are we doing at DCP? You know, it's like one of those things where it's like you surround yourself with people, you recognize people who are hustling and like working hard. And that's what kind of helps motivate you, is thinking that, well, they're doing it right now. Like, I could do it too. Like, let's go. So I feel like it evokes that kind of inspiration as well, you know?
Yeah.
And people just to do whatever is important to them, like whatever, you know, what we were talking about as far as the, you know, your outlet.
Sure.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely. The inspiration piece is huge. It definitely, you know, impacts me when I see you doing all that epic stuff. I'm like, we got to get out there.
Yeah.
You know, we started doing some fun stuff this year with like DCPC Gone Shooting, where we'd go to the shooting range and film that and doing some different things.
Oh, that's nice.
We should do like a DCPC Gone Camping.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and kind of take the cameras up there and do something like that because it's fun. It
Oh,
adds
you
that-
got to
that-
invite
that-
me on that one.
Well, of course. Well, yeah.
Going
I'm
to
like,
your
gotta
property.
go.
We're coming to your
We're
property.
coming to my property. You guys are gonna see the cabin and be like, "We'll be in the cabin. Peace out."
Probably. I'll be in there drinking beer. See ya.
I'm like, I'll do a little conditioning tonight outside, but I'm probably going to have to come back in.
Yeah, that would be cool. I would love to see your property up there. Looks epic.
Yeah,
And I know you keep it pretty, you know, tight to the vest on your location, which I understand.
Yeah. You know, I thought about a lot of women have asked me to do classes on winter camping, and I said I'm not quite there yet. Yeah, I've had 6 years of training myself, but I'm not quite there yet. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I do want to do is I want to build like a snow cave and be able to stay in the snow cave and actually have a fire in there and stuff. Do you know we're in a fire ban right now in Colorado? Could you believe that?
Just because of the drought?
Yeah, we're in a fire
I can
ban
believe
right
it.
now.
The
It's winter.
winds, the drought. Yeah,
Yep.
that doesn't surprise me. So it's, what is that? Like a, what do they call that? Fire danger. There's different colors. Is it red? Is that as high as it goes?
It's high, yeah.
So like zero.
I think there's extreme. There might be an extreme in there. I see it, you know, as I'm driving up in the mountains, I see that little thing. I'm like, oh. So I had to condition myself to never have a fire, you know what I mean, to be in the winter. And so that's what I think with my channel is a little bit different, is that a lot of people are out there and they're making a fire right next to their tent and stuff, where I'm like, I'm out there without a fire. So, but I am using some chemical stuff to keep me warm, which is those hand warmers, you know. I do have a stove, which is hard when you're at like any negative or even
So is that
10
like
degrees.
a propane?
Yeah, one of those little ones. But those, if they get too cold, you can't get gas to come through
yeah.
it. So it's like, then you got to twist it off. You got to put, everything's in your pocket. My jacket ends up being like just huge, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's entertaining though.
So if you could only bring 2 tools for survival with you,
Okay.
what are the 2 tools?
Can I say what time of year is this going to be?
Sure,
Since we're-
sure. Let's do a winter and a summer and a winter.
Okay, so my knife is probably my most popular tool for me, because I can do a lot of things with that. I definitely bring my knife.
Is this for summer or winter?
For both.
Okay,
that would be
knife
both.
is both, okay.
Yeah, knife would be both. So it's only 2 tools.
That's going to be tough.
That one is going to be tough.
That's like the Out of the Wild shows where they're like, you can only pick so many items, but it's usually more
Or
than 2.
maybe we could go 3. What
I feel like 3 is a better number.
Okay, let's go 3.
3 is a better number.
Yeah.
2's challenging though. That's a tough one.
A knife is crucial.
Yeah.
Because it's such multi-purpose.
Yeah.
What would
You need
be
a
the
knife.
second one though?
Like
I
something to
think a
start
lighter.
fire with. Or,
I think a lighter would
but
have
like,
to be.
if it's super
Well,
cold,
I
like,
can do a friction fire.
That's true.
And I probably I'm gonna cheat because I have my shoes. I have shoelaces, so I got a string.
See, that's being
So I'm already
resourceful.
thinking about what's gonna be on my
have your
body.
gear on, you just you got the
I'm like, I'm not naked, right? It's not like
Correct.
Not
naked and
naked and
afraid
afraid.
or something,
correct.
right?
You have all your gear. You don't have the tools, so you can only have a couple tools.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
nighttime
leaning
stuff.
towards my sleeping bag because I call it my precious.
So a knife and a
'cause-
sleeping bag. That's all you need.
I think so.
How about a
If I have
hammock?
two.
So you're not on the ground.
No, I can always
Critters.
get, but I can build something so I'm not on the ground, so I'm not worried about that. But the sleeping bag would make it so I don't have to make a fire. You know.
Okay. Yeah. So you're thinking
So if I have my,
warmth-wise.
I'm thinking keeping warm, but dry is where I'm like, you want to be dry. So it's like, if I were 3, it'd probably be a tarp
Oh yeah, tarps. Yeah.
or
That's a
tent.
good
I guess if I can have a whole tent, and maybe I just have
one. Yeah.
give me a whole tent, but tarp definitely that keeps me dry. So I'm almost thinking that might be very similar to that for the winter.
So pretty for both summer,
Yeah.
winter, almost the same.
Yeah. Of course, maybe if you ask me tomorrow, it might be a little different. But right now, that's my.
I can see that. I think
Knife.
the only thing I would do different would be the sleeping bag in the winter
Yeah.
and hammock in the summer because I can suspend from the trees. I'm not quite as worried about temperature wise.
Yep.
I'm away from the critters. But you're right. You could build a structure to get yourself off the ground. But I kind of like sleeping in a hammock. It's fun.
Oh yeah. I'd say I'm a stomach sleeper.
Are you?
So it's like you can't really sleep.
Yeah, that's not-
I'm like, eh.
Unless you're really doing the anti-computer sit. Like, so
There
you
you go.
sleep in a hammock on your belly when you want to alleviate the stresses of constantly working on a computer.
Yes, yeah. And there you go.
That's an interesting perspective.
Gosh.
I did try to sleep in a hammock, just have a nap in a hammock, and I kept finding myself rolling to my stomach and being like, "Oh, that's uncomfortable," and then coming back. So I'm a ground sleeper.
Yeah.
We call each other ground sleepers, hammock sleepers, and I'm definitely a ground sleeper. I have a bushcraft shelter. Not sure if you saw that video, but it has a bunch of sticks, and I have a little bed that's raised up.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's what I would end up doing, as I'd create a little raised up bed, because you're gonna get a lot of cold from the ground, so you really need to be up. With my knife. Knife is like crucial.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you got to have the right kind of knife.
Yeah.
You really do.
What do you recommend?
Well, I had a knife custom made for me.
Okay.
I brought it.
Oh, can we?
Let's see
Do
it.
you want to see
Let's
it?
see it.
Yes. I mean, come on. I got a custom knife with me. Yes, of course we want to see that.
Yeah, for anyone just listening, you got to tune into YouTube to see this.
Yes, yes. So this knife took a year to make. So it was really cool because I got to.
Here, hold it up kind of so
Oh.
that camera can see it a little bit more.
Okay.
Perfect.
I'll end up showing it more when I
That's a nice
pull it
case.
out.
That's a nice case.
Yeah, that's a nice case.
That is a great case.
Yeah. I was looking for.
It's got your logo
I'm going to
on
give
there.
you a story. Yeah, it has my logo
That's
on it
cool.
and stuff like that. I'm not taking it out yet because there's a whole story.
Okay,
in
Let's
it.
hear it.
This is one of my. I have 3 of these now. So I wanted to create a custom knife that I know that would last in the wilderness area. So it's like if I were to go on like the show alone or something like that, I got asked to be in that show, and I was like, no, that's not my thing. I got to be away from my kids. But I was like, maybe I should like buy or create some of this gear. So this is one of my gears, my knife. So you draw it out. This is how you do with a knife maker. You got to draw it out, and then you cut it out of cardboard, and you're holding it and stuff. So this knife's like totally made for my hand, because a lot of knives out there aren't made for women, Like I have another knife I brought, and I can show you that too. But that one, probably for a woman, is probably one of the better ones. Most of them are just really big for the man hand, Like I need it for my hand is what I need it for. So I did. I wanted a full tang, and I'll pull it out now.
A full ting?
Tang.
Tang?
Yeah, so it's all the way.
Okay.
The steel goes all the way down. Is that hopefully
Yeah,
that
you
shows
can see
there?
it. Yeah,
Okay,
you can see it.
so it goes all the way down. So that
That's
way
cool.
I can beat up this knife. I beat this up. You can kind of tell.
Is that your
it's a little-
go-to? Like is that the one you're bringing out of the 2 items?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the
This
one.
would be
Can I
this would
hold
be
it?
the one. Yeah, it's precious.
Do you trust other people to hold
She
your
was a little
knife?
apprehensive, like, I don't know.
I don't know. You know how to handle a
That's-
knife? It's a Scandi grind too.
Oh, that's cool. I like the details, like the blue in there and stuff.
Yeah, blue's my favorite color. So the knife maker was really nice to me, but he was taking forever to make the knife. And
Oh, wow.
actually, I was looking for a guy in the U.S. because I wanted to support one of the a local U.S. knife manufacturer, but I wanted like a guy in his
really cool.
garage to do it. I didn't want like a big company to create my knife.
Yeah. The detailing on there, like when you act like your little symbol, like the little bear and
Yeah.
all the symbols on there. And what? So
like the
there's wood, and then what's the white?
Oh, that's bone
Bone,
or
okay.
antler. Maybe
Antler,
it's
okay.
antler. Yeah.
Feels good.
Yeah,
it's a
it
nice
feels
knife.
good. That thing's solid. Like I
Feel the
beat
energy
it
of
up.
this.
You could see it on my channel because I'll make kindling out of it.
Yeah.
I'll scrape some wood.
I feel honored. I got to hold the
Me
Spirit
too.
Forest
Yeah.
knife. Are you freaking kidding
That's
me?
that's pretty epic.
I'm about to
It's
have
pretty
my
cool.
little fandom moment right there.
We got to hold the knife that was infamous on the channel.
Yeah, so it does have my logo on it right there.
Here, tilt it back a little bit.
We're catching
Yeah,
a little
there
bit.
you
There
go.
it
There
is.
you go.
There it
see
is.
the logo?
Yeah, you can
And
see
then
it.
on the other side, you'll see it's the drawing is the mountains. Can you see that?
Maybe tilt it
Yes,
forward just
slightly.
a whisker.
There it is.
Yeah, it's in there.
There you go. So it has mountains in it that my daughter drew, and then it has 3 bears, so it represents myself and my 2 daughters.
That's awesome.
So the knife manufacturer is like, oh, I'm taking a while. I'm just going to send you a demo knife. And I'm like, okay. His demo knife was just awesome. I'm like, it's one of my favorite ones. I didn't bring that one. But and then he's like, oh, this is even taking me even longer. So he sent me another one. And he's like, it's kind of what you're looking for, but it wasn't exact. But the handle was, because the bigger thing for me was the handle. Like, I want to make sure it fits my hand.
Sure.
And then he finally sent me this one, which isn't 100% what I wanted. He kind of skewed it a little bit, but at that point I had 3 knives.
Yeah.
And a custom knife costs about $350. And so I was like, I got 3 knives for $350. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm set.
Good deal.
Yeah, you're good
yeah,
to go.
yeah, I'm good to go. So that is one of the items that I would take, that exact knife.
I can see why.
Yeah, you can see it's beefy,
I mean,
you know what I
kinda
mean? It's
beat
good
some
steel.
stuff with that too.
Oh
if
yeah,
needed.
that thing's not gonna
Hammer
break.
on it.
Yeah, it's not gonna break. Your knife is your most important thing out there.
Oh yeah, and it
Now-
has to fit your hand.
Now, when I'm backpacking, I don't take that knife because that knife's a little heavy. So let me show you. This is the one that you buy online. So this is what I tell the women that take my class. I say, buy this. This is a Mora Black knife. Now, again, it fits my hand really well.
Yeah.
I don't know how it fits your hand.
Let's take
Tell
a
me,
gander.
maybe it's a little small for you, but
Well, I mean,
It's okay.
you can still fit it in there nicely.
yeah, but it's lighter weight.
Yeah.
You know, it's lighter weight. You could still beat on that. The Mora knives are really good. I really like the black one. That's the one that you want. It costs a little bit extra, but
Why the black?
Yeah, I got big hands, and that does fit.
it has a sharp angle. So, like, if you wanted to make a fire with your fire rod, that's the angle that you want. So, I'll show you guys. Let's see if I can find. It's like I'm Santa and I'm bringing out all
You
this
got all the
stuff
gifts?
in my bag.
Yeah, this is a nice knife.
This would be my kind of Santa
Made in
presents.
Sweden. Made in Sweden.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They
So,
make
so
the best
you're
kind of knives.
Swedish. I think I remember talking to you about that.
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
past. Because the whole Viking thing, you're into the Vikings and.
Yeah, yeah. So it's I asked my mom, I don't know, it was a while ago. I said, "Mom, what am I?" You know, it's like you get this like identity crisis when you get in your like 30s or something, and I'm like, "What am I? I'm like this mutt." She's like, "No, actually, you're pretty much half Norwegian and half Swedish."
Oh,
and I
wow.
was like, "Oh, okay." She's
You're
like,
like
"You're
full
all
Viking."
Viking." And ever since then, I'm like, "I'm Viking."
Do you speak any of the language?
No,
Okay.
not at all, not at all. My daughter can speak Norwegian a little
That's
bit.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
She's was singing some of their songs, so she can speak it.
Wow.
And so that's a language she wants to learn. And in 2023, I'm hoping to get to Norway for the first
fun.
time for me. You
That'd be
know?
so
I've never
cool.
been to Europe, so I'd love to get over there.
Oh yeah, you got to get over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get over there.
I gotta go.
Okay, you ready to make fire?
What do we got? We're making
We're
fire.
gonna play. We're gonna play. So we got a fire rod here, and so when you're looking for a knife, you want it to make sure it's really, really, really sharp here. So some of the Mora knives are a little rounded. You wouldn't be able to do it. My knife is also really sharp.
So
on
it's
there,
like really
too.
squared, and the
Yeah,
squares.
yeah,
the-
yeah. It's like a
very
90-degree
sharp.
angle right there.
Okay, I see.
And
You gonna throw some sparks?
I'm gonna throw some sparks, but I think your equipment's gonna be okay.
Yeah, I think we'll be all right.
Like,
Send
don't
it.
freak out on me.
This
It's
is
gonna be
DCPC
okay.
first. I like this. I'm just gonna back up a hair here.
Yeah. So let's see.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you can see I scraped some of it off here on your table, but I was going to have you guys try it
Okay,
too. So
I'll
what
give it
you
a
want to
go.
do is you want to keep it at a 45-degree angle and then scrape down. You push down and
Push
scrape.
down and scrape.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep. But just,
Okay.
obviously don't put your hand where the blade is at.
We're doing it on the back side here.
On the back side,
At a
yep.
Well,
45.
not on the
45.
rolling, Kevin.
Yeah, well, I
not
can't, I
on
can't do the rolling. I got to go this
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
There you go.
45
Jeez,
back.
Pete.
No, forward. There you go. There you go. There you go. Look at you making sparks.
There it is.
There you go.
Okay, I got the feeling now. I got
Nice.
it. All right, you're up.
All right.
Now, have you ever done that before?
I
a
haven't
fire
done it
rod?
on a fire rod.
Okay.
I've done like the mag, stick.
Oh, yeah,
One
yeah,
of those little
yeah.
flint strikers.
I was
Yeah.
in
That
the
thing's
Scouts
pretty
way
epic.
back in the day.
Oh,
I
so
probably,
you
I
might
probably
have
did
done
it
it.
back then.
There it
Ooh.
is.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
look at that. That's some manpower right there.
Yeehaw.
There it is.
So what do you, because this, is generating sparks.
Mm-hmm.
So you really got to get it like into the tender when you're doing the flip,
Yeah.
right?
Get an angle
Yeah.
it into
Has
the
to get
tender
really,
bundle.
really in there. Are you like kind of trying to blow on it too at the same time?
Well,
or like-
no. You want to create your. Here, I'll take that knife back. Maybe you guys on the YouTube video, maybe you learned something a little bit. But that's what I like to teach in my class.
That's good stuff.
This is going to be one of your items. So that would have been my third item.
Was the fire
Okay.
stick.
It would have been the fire stick, yeah.
I like that
Fire
better
rod
than
and
a lot of the flint strikers I've used in the past. I feel like they're too small. They're a little bit difficult to work with. That has
Yeah.
good size
Yeah,
and
that
you
is
can really
nice.
get some good leverage on it.
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of small, let me show you something. Hold on. We'll get it out. So here, I brought this on purpose for you guys because I thought it'd be kind of fun. Adults always like fire, too. So this is a little fire rod right here.
Oh, wow.
And then you've got a little striker, So
Oh,
let's see if I can get it.
That's it.
There you go. You got it.
Yeah, so it's like I can make fire at any time, you know. So anyways, I teach the women in the class how to make fire. It's a part of our survival skill, and all adults, even people who are 50 years old, like to make fire and play with fire. You know, we're all pyros in the bushcraft world. But yeah, I have them make their tinder, and then they throw a spark on it. Now, a woman is a lot different than a man. Like, you saw how far your sparks went? They went all the way across the table. When I was throwing mine, they stopped about right here, about a quarter of the way. So a lot of the women that are taking my class have a hard time doing it, so I have to teach them how to make their tinder bundle perfectly so that when they do it, it's going to light. You know, like I will, and I've learned this through my experiences with a man, because we're different. I don't care what anybody says, we're built differently.
Correct.
You know, and we have to take a little bit extra time with that tinder bundle. You know, make the shavings even extra small. Now I've made one that was like, when I'm shaving off some wood, it's really, really thick, and a guy can spark it, no problem. A woman, not at all. Now, of course, there's obviously some really strong women out there, you know what I mean? So
And a little bit of technique, too, I feel like.
yeah, there's a little bit of technique. It's kind of like but it's like, it's easier to learn than trying to do trying to do a bow drill.
Yeah, well,
you know, like
bow drill's intense.
I've never attempted one of those. I just feel like my hands are going to end up bleeding if I try.
You got to be prepared for that, I feel like.
Well, with the bow drill, your hands are going to be okay.
Okay.
And in fact, being that you're kind of
thinking about like the
those I've done that, and it's like
mic.
it starts hurting really bad.
Because the bow drill, you're kind of hammering on this way, right? Like the soft.
So you actually run out of energy actually after a while, but it's really about the species of wood that you have and how you're making your cuts and all that. It's
Is birch a good fire starter?
I think so. I mean, I'm trying with aspen. I've been trying with aspen for that, but I'm having a hard time.
I could see because aspen's kind of like
it's not a hardwood, so it's really, really light.
It's
so you would think I can do it with my daughter Madison is if she's holding the bow at the same time as me, because I run out of energy. But together we can make an ember. But alone, I have not been able to do that. But
how long does it take to get an ember? Because you always see in the survival shows they'll show them doing it, and it's like, okay, it's expedited right to when the
they'll cut through it and stuff like that. I'm hoping this season 6 that I'm going to be able to. I'll end up showing that how to do
the entire process.
The entire process, and I won't cut the video.
What do you estimate? 12 to 15 minutes?
Yeah, you'll be worn out if it's longer than that. Yeah, so you have to be able to do it within that much time. I mean, if you think about it, it's like doing a sprint for 10 minutes. You know what I mean? You're just like, you know. But hopefully I can get it done. I got some ideas that I'm thinking that might help me, and other women too.
Sure.
That might be a little bit of help.
That'd be a good video, I feel like.
Yeah.
And showing it in its entirety, because I always feel like it's cut.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't want to sit there and watch someone hammer away for 12 minutes. I get it.
Yeah.
But I think showing that length kind of demonstrates, hey, it's not that easy. You watch some of these survival shows, it's like they make it look like it's super easy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I know guys that can really, I mean, they have mastered this. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say that I'm a master of the bow drill or anything like that. But, I understand the concept. I understand kind of what to do. But I don't think I mastered it yet,
It's always good to stay humble. I mean, you don't want to, like, try to be overly confident and then put yourself in a situation maybe where it's like, maybe I couldn't cash that check.
Yeah.
So I always think it's good to stay humble with things and just...
Yeah, I think so.
And I'm good at admitting the things that I can work on. I mean, we all got something to work on, and, I got to learn some new things, you know what I mean? Like, I'm all for learning new things. I think in season 6, again, my season, I'm ending season 5 right now, and I'm going into my season 6. Gonna have a lot of stuff planned for that, and one of them is I'm gonna learn to hunt. I'm hoping. I don't have that skill.
What are you gonna do it with?
I'd loved it for it to be a bow, but I don't know yet.
That'd be so cool if you did it with a bow, just like the Vikings.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Or like a hatchet of sorts.
The poor bird.
I don't know if anyone's
deer.
hunted with a hatchet.
I don't know if you can hunt with a hatchet. There might be some rules against that.
That's kind of rowdy, I feel like. That's like mutilation of the animal.
I mean, it's probably happened.
He's running off with a hatchet sticking out of his back.
I've seen like the throwing sticks. I know Bear Grylls would do that with bunnies. He would like whip one of those big old sticks at a bunny rabbit to kind of knock it out. And,
really?
And run in. I saw him do that. I feel like Cody Lundeen did some of that too, maybe. I don't know.
See, I would need more knowledge in how to prep the animal to eat and really, do that, because you have to do it fast.
Yeah.
Right? So I have no knowledge there. And I mean, it would be fun to hunt, but like there's more responsibility than just hunting, right?
Yes.
You have to prep the animal. You have to, so it's always a big task, the whole hunt and taking care of it. That's something I would like to learn more of.
Yeah. Well, I'll have it on my channel if I do it. It would be October next year. But
What are
I'll
you gonna
have
hunt
it
for?
on.
A big game?
I think so. A
Yeah.
deer. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go
Deer's
for a deer.
delicious. I love deer.
Yeah.
And elk, you know.
Yeah. Got to feed the kids, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What better way
I won't have it go to waste. Don't have to worry about that.
That's
but
good.
Maybe I'll start with a bunny, and I'll move to the deer.
Go to the rabbit to the deer.
Yeah.
That seems like a good transition.
Yeah, yeah. Just to learn new stuff, you know. That's what I want to
That's
do. It's just
expand the
another
skill
skill
set.
I want to have. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to have it, but I haven't known somebody that knows how to do it, and now I do. So I'm like, okay, score. I'm going to learn, you know.
I've never been real good at hunting. I love guns. You know, I've been around it my
Yeah.
whole life. I own a lot of firearms. I got buddies that hunt big game. I'm more of a fisherman. You
Okay.
know, I can pull out a big bass on the western slope. I know how to scale it. You know, cut it down, fillet it. I'm a fish guy.
Okay.
You know, I love eating a fresh caught fish.
Oh, yeah,
it's
me
one of my
too.
favorites.
Yeah, I like to fish too. I go fly fishing, but I'd have to say there's some. I must be doing something wrong because I am not catching the fish. I think in the last 2 years I only caught like 3 fish. But do you notice Colorado's a little harder to catch fish than other places?
Yeah, I grew up in New England, and I mean, largemouth, smallmouth bass, trout up there were easy. The first fish I caught in Colorado, I think you were with me, it was up at St. Mary's. I pulled out a cutthroat, a real nice cutthroat trout. It was one of the first trout I caught in Colorado. It was a pregnant fish, so by Fish and Game law, I had to throw it back, of course. But it's still fun to do that catch
Yeah.
and release. But yes, I would agree. Colorado has been a difficult place to land a fish worthy of processing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm not going to take a small little fish
Yeah.
and get a bite of meat off of
Yeah.
it. I pulled out a big bass out in Montrose, but I was out there on business, you know. But I picked up a cheap fishing rod, so I don't have a way to process it. But that was the biggest fish I've caught yet in Colorado.
Okay.
Was a big mouth.
Yeah, I would like to. I mean, that's something too that I'm gonna be doing that in my videos too. It's gonna be fishing, but I'm gonna talk to some more locals and see what kind of flies they're using and stuff because I think there is definitely a skill to that.
There is, and I never
know.
mastered fly fishing.
No, I think fly fishing to me is more fun because it's not just, and I'm not trying to give
cast
offense
out
to
and
you,
wait.
but it's like at least I'm doing something. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
That's true. It takes a little more work. See, I'm the old school where if I don't catch any fish, at least I'm catching a buzz because you know I'm drinking beer. I got the bobber out there and I'm just chilling. You know, I'm in nature.
yeah, that's fun too. I like that. I
Yep.
like that. Yeah.
I mean, just getting out in general. So I have done fishing. It's very satisfying. One of my favorite outdoor activities is probably going to be, I mean, come on. I like we keep talking about fires. Like we did the Flint thing. Like it has to be the fire, you know, and
Fire's
it's
epic.
it's so primal. So there's only a couple things that you can travel time. You travel into the past, right? Mm-hmm. You can do that staring into a flame because that's been done. You know, we talked about painting.
Yeah.
You're kind of traveling into the past through that experience and then looking at the stars.
Yeah.
So those are all like timeless acts that we all have access to. And so there's something alluring about the fire, but getting to the top of the summit too. I mean, come on. Like you go out there, you're nervous or excited to go hike and you're like, "Oh, the summit." And cuz Kevin and I did James Peak and that was just
That wasn't even a 14er, but it was the most epic hike I've ever done.
It was like a 12 something.
No, it was
Some
13.
of those can be better than the 14ers.
Sure.
It was so
It was
cool.
it was
though.
13.8,
That was so cool.
I think.
I mean,
But-
just seeing the world from that perspective
Yeah.
and seeing that there was like, you get to the top of St. Mary's Glacier and there's this weird like badlands of like small 3x3 hill, like little tiny little mounds everywhere. And you get up to the top of the mountain. It's actually like really marshy up there. And it's just the whole climate.
Mary's is
It
epic.
was so cool. But it's like doing those little things. Like I'm a summer guy. Like I'm not a skier or a snowboarder, but I love to go hiking and like get out into the trees. It's just, it's so healing.
Yeah, it
It
is.
is.
It makes you feel good.
Yeah, it definitely does, and I really enjoy that too. And that's one of the things I want. I like going places where there's no people. You know, I know it's not that I don't like people. It's just if someone says, "Hey, how was your hike today?" I'd be like, "There was no people on the trail. It was awesome."
That's the best.
You know, that's the best kind of trail for me. You know. But yeah, I like going places that are pretty remote because then it's like your way of like finding yourself. You find peace there. It's silent. You know, I just love all you hear is like the trees blowing
Love that sound.
and stuff, you know. Like
When you
one of the
when you
channels I
can't
was
hear
thinking of doing
cars.
is recording. You can't hear cars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's always a double thumbs up.
yeah,
Yes.
or people like right now, and it's a big pet peeve of mine. But when people are hiking and they have their speaker on
Playing
their
music.
side, they're playing music
Yeah.
while they're hiking, and I'm like, we're out here to enjoy nature, and I'm hearing your hip hop music on your hip. You know,
Yeah.
I was like, just
trying to hear the birds and the trees rustling.
yeah,
I
yeah.
agree.
It's a little selfish. I mean, you know, I would say
like we have earbuds,
Yeah,
put the earbuds.
put it in your ear
Yeah.
if you need to have that. Don't subject everybody else to the music that like they're looking for attention.
They are.
Yeah.
And I see that in retail too sometimes. People will come in with, doing the same thing. They're grocery shopping. Well, I guess everyone gets to listen to their music now. You know, it's that same kind of mentality. But you're right. When I'm outdoors doing hiking, camping, I want to just hear what's going on. Like I said, I turn my phone on Do Not Disturb. I don't want to hear that thing ring.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't bring that out there to hear that ring.
Yeah, yeah, because I'm like you, or trying to be like you, I guess, because you were trying to get 30 minutes. I think you were on your phone only a day or something on social
well,
media.
no, I mean, I'm still on my phone, but it's like, yeah, the social media, because it used to just be hours, and it takes time. Like,
Yeah.
it took like 3 months.
to wean yourself off.
Yeah, to where like and my muscles were bringing up the app, and I would do one swipe, and I'm like, wait, this is all pointless. Like, this is garbage. I'm not growing from this. I'm not.
Yeah.
None of this is beneficial for me, and I'd throw my phone down aggressively on the table, like, this is garbage. Like, get it the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But I did that for like 3 months before I finally like, I'll just do something else in that downtime. You know, reflect on something, maybe work harder, do some push-ups, let the dog out, or like, go look at the mountains, because I have a great view from my room. I'm
Oh,
very
nice.
fortunate for that. But
Yeah.
sorry, like I could just talk about that all day.
Oh yeah, well it's
It's a
very
good goal.
true. In fact, I'm very proud of my daughter because she's like, Mom, I'm addicted to my phone. And because I see her, like she puts her phone down and then like she can only handle like a couple minutes and she's picking that phone back up.
But
you
she
know?
knows it. She admitted that
Oh,
she's addicted to it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
so that's
said
good.
it's Snap, it's TikTok, Instagram, and so she's like, and her other friends too. They're all noticing it, and I'm so happy because they're all talking about it as teenagers. You know, they're like, "This is bad. This is bad." So now they all said, "Okay, we're gonna do one app." You know, which
Yeah.
she's still on that app a little too much, but she's on 3 apps now. You know, so she decided to stick with just Instagram.
IG.
You know, because she wants to be able to share her hikes and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And,
Which it's
and
a
I
great
can't say
tool.
you can't be on any
But,
social
I mean,
media.
it's healthy to
you
a
know?
certain. It's
a
healthy
balance.
when you're using it as a tool.
Yeah.
It's unhealthy when you're using it as an escape from boredom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really good. But I mean, like Kevin and I, we grew up playing with GI Joes in the dirt, riding bikes until the sun went out.
Yep.
Like, we didn't have smartphones in our face when we were growing up. Like, we didn't have these type of technologies. So like, there's this disposition of like dependency that didn't exist before. Because I mean, I'm not saying you did this, but I see babies that are. The parents entertain the kid
With the screen.
by
Yeah.
so the parent can be free.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how
It's
how you're supposed to
the electronic
raise your child.
babysitter.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll admit there was times where I was like, "Oh, here's a phone. Here's this." You know what I mean? Just be
Yeah.
quiet for a minute.
It's
you
a
know?
quick fix, yeah.
Yeah. There's times, and I regret some of those times where I was doing that. You
Well,
know,
it happens here and there, but
you'll see at the table like all the parents are on their phones, and they're
That's-
all going. All
that's
of
what
them
bothers
are
me the
going out
most,
to
Tammy.
dinner, and all the parents
Oh,
are on
yeah.
their phones, and their kids are just sitting there. You know,
We're in a weird time. I point it all the time. Every time we go out, I'm just like, look over there. You see, whether it's a couple, a family, they're all out having a meal
Yeah.
to spend time together, and they're all looking at their phones.
Yeah.
It kind of irritates me.
Yeah.
Why go out?
So I try to give a little benefit of the doubt for the first 10 minutes at the table, and this is why, because since the pandemic, they do the QR code for the menu.
Yes.
That's a good point.
So like,
Yeah.
you got to give people that little bit of leeway
Yep.
when they're sitting down. But once the orders are placed,
Yeah.
like it's attention time. Like, let's get
It's
back to the roots of
conversation.
talking to people. And
Yeah.
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 No, I mean, they're literally sitting there with a phone in their face, eating, not looking at each other.
Yeah.
How did we get to this point?
I don't know. It drives me nuts. And when I go up into the mountains now, I have to admit, I did just, Saturday, I just got internet to my cabin.
Ooh.
And as much as I'm so excited about that, but I'm thinking about, like, I can actually call 911 now Where
That's
before, if I slip with this knife, I can't call 911. I got to find a way.
That's a huge victory.
Yeah. Oh, it's huge, because I'm in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's satellite, but, it's like at least I'm getting something so I can get 911 there. And of course, what's coming is a helicopter where I'm at.
They're going to have to lift you out of there, yeah.
Yeah, they don't have ambulances. It's going to be a helicopter. But, I was like, well, now that I have internet here, what's that going to change for me? You know what I mean? Am I going to be...
You could upload from there?
Well, no, I got 0.55.
Well,
that's not going to work.
That's
not gonna
satellite internet, right? Satellite.
It's satellite, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be
so
tough.
I think I have 9 download and 0.55 upload. So
So you're still able to do, the bare essentials.
Yes,
You can
yeah.
make calls. You can watch the little program.
Yeah, and then you got a data limit, you know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, it's still going to restrict me a bit, so I won't be on the internet all the time. But I'll find myself reaching for my phone too.
Really?
You know what I mean? Like, oh, wonder what comment I got on this video, or you know what I mean? And I just find myself constantly reaching for my phone. But now that I have internet up there, I'm like, I'm hoping I'm not going to be like that. I hope that I'll like be able to keep my phone in the cabin and be like, hey, I'm going to take 2 hours off.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go out and do what I normally do there.
As
you know?
long as it's not controlling your time, like everything in moderation is fine.
Yeah.
Like, you could drink too much water, So it's just like the phone is an awesome tool. It's so cool that we have this thing in our pockets that we can
Connect with
I could
anybody
talk
at
to
any
somebody
time.
in India, that. Like that's so it's wild. And so it's just you got to like utilize that power and not let it have power over you, because the device does have power. The corporations have power, the apps have power. It's designed to catch your attention. So
It's a money machine.
I just think it's something to be mindful about, because our thoughts are precious. Our thoughts create our reality, and if you're constantly just escaping your own thought process, you're not actually in that, then you're missing out on yourself, and then you're going to probably start feeling like your life is not fulfilled, and you're going to try to be putting your thumb on what the problem is. You're not focusing on yourself enough.
It's good. It's solid. And we've all done it. I mean, I'm guilty of it, especially with the phone, with the podcast. We just hit 1 million views on YouTube, which is exciting.
Yeah, that's
we
very
wanted to
exciting.
celebrate that. We talked about celebrating our milestones. I know you're in the 4 million, so
Crusher.
we're not quite Spirit Force
You're
level
gonna
yet.
get there.
We're not on that level. Yeah.
But it was something that I saw it creeping up. So I was watching it like it's coming.
Yeah.
And then it happened. It's like, cool. We're doing something. So it's cool to celebrate those kind of moments. But it can get a little bit, like you said, addictive. Oh, how many people like this? Or I always tell myself I don't care about that stuff. But I'm not trying to fool anybody. Of course I do.
Yeah.
I want to see what's
You
going
might
on.
not care, but you're curious.
That's a fair assumption as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to see how the episodes perform, right? Because we're doing this because we're trying to make an impact.
Yeah.
So the results drive that. So it's natural to want to look at that. But going back to what I was saying earlier, when I camp, I don't care about it, and I love that feeling. I want to be there more in my day to day than not just camping. When I have all this information coming at me and Instagram's blowing up and emails are coming in, it starts to overwhelm me and I feel like anxiety from it. I don't feel that when I'm outdoors. So.
Yeah, it is nice. I like being out there, just trying to get my kids to kind of feel that as well. I think I got there with Madison, working on it with Kyla, my younger one. She's so Madison's 17 years old and Kyla's 14. And, just trying to get them off technology and play. Like, go outside and play.
Yeah.
Because that's really all I'm doing. I'm just an adult going outside and playing with my fire. You know what I mean? I'm playing with a fire rod, figuring out what I do. I built a fort. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
awesome.
I just want to play, because that's how I was when I was a kid. Like you were outside playing with your G.I. Joes or something like
yeah.
that.
We were
I was
always
with the
outdoors.
boys playing with their G.I. Joes, and
Yeah.
we're making like mud pies and
Or like
stuff.
taking
your
bike off a jump and stuff.
yeah.
And, like,
Or my
discovering
skateboard.
the
I was on a
creek.
skateboard. Yeah.
I was a Tonka truck guy. I'd build a little construction site in the backyard with my little digger and my dump truck.
Yeah.
Just
So
creative.
Could you ollie on a skateboard?
No, I couldn't do that. I wasn't that good.
Oh, so you were the rider.
I was like, we did a little ramp, you know what I
Okay,
mean? I'm
that's
like,
fun.
woo.
That's fun. That's
I was
love it.
terrible at skateboarding. I don't have
Yeah.
good balance.
Yeah, that'd be a problem.
Yeah, I fell.
Yeah.
I broke my clavicle.
Oh.
My collarbone skateboarding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't that aggressive. I was a bike rider, though. I love my bike.
You did.
When I got my bike, it was a game changer.
Yeah.
I went through the phase of putting the cards in the spokes so it would sound cool. And, but I took care of my bike. I waxed it. I made
Oh,
sure
yeah.
the chain was greased right. I took pride in that bike.
I
think
had
that carried
horses too. I had a horse, so I was doing the horse and the bike. So I'd
Oh,
bike
yeah.
over to my horse, ride the horse, and then bike back. you know. But I was outside. I was in California at that time too, so it's like winter was like, what? You know,
Right.
this is in winter. You know what I mean? It could still be out. I could still go in the pool if I wanted to.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, so it's like I'm trying to get the kids to be like, get outside. Like I think recently I told the kids, I was like, why are you guys inside so much? You know, like let's go outside, let's go do something. You know. But I noticed if I don't push them to do it, they're not going to do it on their own. I have to push them, and they know they don't have a choice. As soon as I have an idea in my head, like they don't have a choice. We got to go with mom. You know what I mean?
Do they ever kind of look at it like, Mom, we know you're outdoorsy. We're not that way. You know, that's you. Do they ever come at you that way?
They did. Now Madison's kind of changed to be like she's more outdoorsy than me. She says.
Oh,
you
so
know?
now it's competition.
Oh, it's total competition.
That's where it gets
with
fun,
her.
though.
Yeah.
I'm that way with my old man. We're competitive with different things. Who's going to do more fun things this year? You know?
And I'm all good. I'm all happy for that. Like she hiked to a waterfall and it was like really pretty, and she took all this video at the waterfall. And I'm like, that's good. She's like, bet you haven't done that, Mom. And I thought that was pretty good. So, but I do try to, you know, get them out as much as I possibly can.
That's good.
You know, and I think that everyone needs to do that with their parents. Like you're the parent, so if they want to play a game or something like that, I was like, if you really need to, negotiate with them. Say, okay, you're going to spend 6 hours hiking if you want to play that game. You know, like I would do that.
That's
too. Yeah.
That's a good wager.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's holding their feet to the fire on. Yeah, you can do that, but here's what you're gonna have to do that.
Yeah.
I like that approach.
It's so wild because, you know, life kind of flies by, right? And the memories stick, you know, like molasses. The memories move slow, but time's moving by fast. And so, like, you know, I feel those emotions of, because my dad always did construction, and I got to go to the job sites.
Yeah.
I was like, Dad, I don't want to go. He's like, son, you get to go.
Yeah.
You know, and so he'd pull me with, and I would like, but looking back, like, even though I was like miserable, kicking my feet and stuff at the time, like, I'm like, man, like that taught me a lot of value. Mm-hmm. And, you know, those moments. So it's funny because, like, as a more matured adult than a young 20-year-old,
Yeah.
Looking back, it's like, shit, my parents were right.
Yeah.
You know, and I think everybody gets that point in their life where they're like, okay, yeah, my parents were totally right, and I was just being ignorant and, you know, stubborn and, you know, all that shit. And it's just kind of funny. Reflecting is cool in that sense because you can really, like, figure out where the value was in different areas. I don't know. Just it's because we're talking about your girls. I bet you one day that they look back and they're like, oh, thank God, Mom pulled us out and made us do all this stuff. And
yeah,
for sure.
They actually told me one time, they're like, Mom, can we just have a weekend where there's no adventures? Just one weekend.
They just want to chill, do nothing.
Yeah. Just give me one, and I'm like, no. I was like,
it's not part of the rules.
That's not part of who I am. I was like, you'll chill when we get to our camping spot, and then you could chill. You know, like I actually started allowing them when we were hiking that my younger daughter, that's not the outdoorsy one. I was like, okay, you can come and you can bring your iPad so you can watch your movie, but we're hiking 6 miles and then we're putting up camp and you can watch your movie there. So she was like hiking, trying to get to that camping spot so she could watch her movie.
I bet
It's a
you
reward.
it felt so good to lay down after walking those 6 miles. You're like, oh, that feels so good.
That's a good reward. You know, incentivizes the adventure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's a good approach, I think.
Yeah, and I think with my channel too is like I'm trying to like inspire people to get outside because there's so many people that just want to like just sit on the couch.
It's true.
You know, and like I say too is that there's a lot of people that watch my channel that can't hike and they can't be outdoors. And if there's a way that I can take them outdoors, and that's what I try to do in my videos is I try to like, hey, you're coming with me. You're going to be camping with me, and this is the experience because I talk to them like. A lot of people say that about my channel is I talk to you. Mm-hmm. I talk to the camera, you know, because I do think about my subscribers, which are like the best people ever. And they motivate me so much, you know what I mean? That I'm talking to them and like, hey, we're going to make it up this hill. Like my video that's posting today, I'm like, we're going to get up to the top of this hill. And I was like, the sun is setting. We got to get there, you know? So it's a lot of fun. And I like to be able to inspire those people just to get off the couch a little bit. And I'll get messages like that where people say, I saw I did the incline over in Colorado Springs.
Okay.
And I gave myself 1 hour to do it. I said I can do this in 1 hour. Well, I didn't quite make 1 hour, but I was almost there, but I didn't quite make it. But I was like, hey, this is a milestone that I made, and now when I come back here, I know where at the fitness level I need to be at. It's like not all the time I'm going to be successful in everything I do, but I did have people message me and say, I saw you do that hike. That looked like a really hard hike.
Oh, yeah, the incline's tough.
Oh, I almost puked. On the trail.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I was pushing myself too much. I gave myself a timeline. I'm like, I can beat this.
I have no idea how much time, but I was a pot-smoking, munchie eating person. and one of my best friends who served, he was like, dude, we're going to go do the incline. It's like him and like 4 or 5 of his military buddies. And I'm like, I got this. I'm like, I got this. And like my Camelback, like I drank the whole Camelback just getting to the top. And I was definitely the last one. But like, and there's old guys like in their mid-60s, great shape, but doing it barefoot and stuff, like going up and down. And it's, man.
It's intense.
You think like you look at something, you're like, oh, that's easy. Or you look at like, UFC and these people fighting and you're like, oh yeah, do it like this. But then like, have you ever tried to fight? Like how exhausting is it? Like, so it's like putting yourself there is really what, helps define the experience. Mm-hmm. But for people who can't go do that and that you're helping inspire, just anything to get outside of the 4 walls, even if it's just on your front patio or, if you're able to like, just go walk half a block, like, and just see the sky, look at the clouds. Like, how much do we love the clouds as kids? Like, we could still love the clouds, so it's good just to get out and do a little something. But talking about staying indoors, you're building this cabin. I had a question. So just like the survival question, if you could only have one piece of furniture in your house, you can only have like one piece of furniture, and let's just say it's just you living there, like.
Okay. That's an interesting question.
Just one piece.
A bed.
I mean, it has to be the
hands
bed,
down
right?
bed.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to think
because you can sit on it, you can rest on it,
you can eat on it,
you can do activities.
See, I was gonna go with a big couch, like a big comfortable
which
couch
could also
that
serve
you
a similar
could sleep
purpose
on too. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I think the bed makes the most sense.
And then I started thinking like a table would be nice too, but like,
Yeah, it's only one piece.
Yeah.
Definitely a bed.
Yeah. That's a good pick.
You know what's funny, though? I might only have a bed there because after the time this cabin's built, because I'm over budget, that I might only be able to afford a bed.
So there it is, the one piece.
I was like, okay, kids, come on. I was like, I can live in a tent. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't really need much. Yeah, I have this cabin, and it's really nice and stuff, and it's an investment as well. Like, I get that. But yeah, I was like, we're just going to be camping inside the cabin. You know what I mean? Because I can see myself. I'll turn off the electricity. Like, I don't really need that. It's like, I like the fire. I like candles. I love the light of it that candle brings in a room and stuff like that. I was like, we're fine,
You're just in a more secure shelter, essentially.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about the bears coming in. You know what I mean?
So
or
you
the rats.
drain your pipes then? Is that how that works? Like all your pipes can just like drain out very easily?
Well, I know about easily. I mean, you gotta blow them out just like you blow out sprinklers. You know?
Okay.
But it's really hard with like a dishwasher, which I'm gonna have a dishwasher there. I'm gonna have a refrigerator possibly with a water line in it. Like you gotta blow all of that kind of stuff out. And I thought about like, I'll just blow it. I'll just have the house just be winterized, and then if I come up there, I'll just bring my own water, bring a bucket, and then have a fire. You know what I mean? Like, that's better than what I'm doing now, in my little A-frame tent. So I was like, this is great. Like, I'm really excited.
You should be. Yeah, it looks great. I was definitely enjoying watching that video of it. You were kind of giving the tour and, feeling everything live action. We talked about the railing. That was kind of fun. That's going to have some character to it. Getting your hands on the build. Yeah. Which is fun.
Yeah, and again, bringing my kids in, going to be like, hey, you're going to be picking up a hammer too, because mom's not doing this all on her own.
Time to start swinging the hammer.
Yeah, and it's like you've got to teach them these skills. Not only do I got to teach them these outdoor skills, in case you never know what's going to happen,
Right.
No. You never know. So I'm teaching them those skills, but I'm like, hey, pick up a hammer. Just because you're a woman, a young lady, doesn't mean you can't do this too.
Of course.
You know, so yeah, they're going to be doing some stuff in that cabin. I'm going to make sure of it. You know, even if I make up projects, they're going to do it, you know?
Yeah.
Sanding the cabinets.
Sanding.
To paint them.
Oh, well, luckily I'm not going to have that. So
Okay.
I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much, like, I don't know. There's a lot of work.
There's going to be a lot of work. I got to put all the doors in and the baseboards and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, I was like, you guys can measure it. You tell me where to cut it, or you can cut some of it. I try to get one of my daughters to cut one of those balusters, you know.
Okay.
And she's like, I'm like, I got 30 of them. Don't worry. You'll end up cutting a couple. Or maybe 50.
When somebody is learning, there will be lost material.
Yes, there will.
That's part of it.
Sure.
Yes.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
Even when you know the skill, there's gonna be lost material.
Oh, yeah.
Mistakes are gonna happen. That's
Yeah.
part of it.
I'd still put it up, though.
Yeah, I would. That's how I am.
Even if it was all wiggly, I'm like, yeah, that's Madison's.
Yeah.
You know?
Again, character points.
Yes.
Right? See that little hiccup right there? Yep, that was me.
Doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be functionable.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, just make sure that there's not 4 inches. There's 4 inches. I think you can put a ball through 4 inches hole or something like that.
Okay, so people don't like get things
Yeah,
stuck
there's
or-
a lot of code and stuff
Yeah.
that you have to worry about, you know. Yeah, we're gonna get it done.
Yeah.
March.
That's exciting.
And then
And
after March, like I think I'm just gonna take a break for a little bit, you know what I mean,
And just
like
enjoy it.
have a bed, just have a bed there for a while, you know what I mean, and just like I want to go to the Iceland and do Zion and go backpacking in Wyoming and I want to do all these other things. I don't want to be stuck in this house just working on this project.
You're on the final stretch right now.
Yeah, I
So
really am.
that's super exciting.
Yeah.
the home stretch.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes the most commitment and hard work, though. You know, you're like the lights at the end of the tunnel, but we got to stay dialed in here.
Yeah.
You know, and you mentioned getting a CO. What was that? The certified occupancy. Is that what-
Certificate of occupancy.
and that allows you to live within the establishment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now I'm not able to. I had to sign a paper saying I won't live there. But I spent the night there the other day. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's not
You had an
living.
extended
like,
visit. You know.
That's not
and
living.
And it's funny because they're like the builder would be like, you stayed there? Where'd you stay? I'm like, I could sleep anywhere. I just brought my sleeping pad and my sleeping bag. There was no heat at that point, I don't think. We had some space heaters kind of in the area, but I have stayed in it before, and my water froze. Like that's how cold it gets inside that cabin.
Because you're at 10,000 feet, I think you said.
Yep, 10,000.
So it's nippy.
Yeah, it's a bit chilly. A bit chilly. The good thing is I don't have air conditioning. Don't need
You
it.
probably don't. Yeah, I was gonna say you don't need it. Yeah,
Don't
you definitely
really
don't
need
need
it.
it. And those winds today were brutal. I'm sure up there they were intense because I saw kind of coming over the front range with some of the worst winds.
Yeah.
So hopefully
Yeah.
everything's good to go there.
Yeah.
There was a trampoline that blew into Parker Road.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it blew out of someone's yard and went right in the middle of the road from those high winds today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was supposed to ride my horse today. And I was like, I go outside. I'm like, nope. And it was like this wind, snow mix, rain mix thing that was going on. And I was like, oh, man. I'll have to ride my horse another day.
You're going to have to save that for another day.
Yeah, save it for another day.
Okay.
So I've been asking, I don't know why, but it's like lately we've been talking about this with other people and my coworkers and stuff, and we've been talking about survival and like the apocalypse happens. I don't know, zombies rule the world or something like that. And you can bring. I'm going to ask you guys this question. You can bring 10 people with you. To your little clan, maybe you're building a little fort around, and you're going to bring 10 people in, and you guys are going to survive. What are those 10 people?
I'll go first.
Oh gosh, you already know the answer.
Yep, so you're one of them. Okay, Michael Hawk is another one.
Okay.
Michael Hawk's in. Cody Lundeen, Dave Canterbury, Bear Grylls. I would say Joe Tedeye, but I think I'm going to leave him out. Art, I guess you're in. And then
Thanks,
And then
Kevin.
I'll save a spot for Mom and Dad, my girlfriend, and my best friend Josh. Those are my 10.
Wow, that's you
can't
got
touch
like
that.
most time it takes people a while.
I can't touch that. I'm going to need a brainstorm on that. I'm going to just...
I knew I had to go with it.
DCPC, a lot of this is 50-50, so I'm taking 50% of that answer. and I'm going
Well,
with
you
the
could say it this way because this is how I would see it too. You have first of all, you have 2 women in that group. You're gonna have all these guys that are pretty A personality.
That's a good point. I guess
You know
I
what
was
I mean? You're
thinking
gonna have some
survival mode there.
conflict in your little fort.
Oh yeah, see, you are right about that.
Yeah, never mind. I don't want 50% of that.
Hey, you already claimed it.
I don't
Taking it
know
back.
if you're gonna want to be in
I'm
this
taking
fort.
it back.
But you could say something like, I want a doctor, I want
wow.
a
Okay.
farmer, I want a, you know what I mean?
Okay.
You're like naming people's names.
Yeah.
Bear Grylls being one of them.
Oh, Bear
well,
Grylls
at least
for
he'll
sure.
entertain you.
Yeah, Bear, I think Bear would be good because, I mean, in that situation, you know, if shit's hitting the fan, so to speak, I feel like Bear, Cody Lundeen, and Michael Hawk are three of my favorite survival experts.
Oh, I like Cody. I want to take one of his classes.
That'd be fun.
Really do. I think it'd be a lot of fun to take. You know, as much
Would you do
as
it barefoot, though, you think? Would you go full Cody Lundeen?
I don't know. He does do socks every once in a while.
In the winter.
Yeah, in the winter he does
Yeah.
socks. I don't know if I would, but I'd be. You have to condition your feet for something like that.
Oh, yeah,
His
for
feet
You
sure.
are,
know,
they have
like
to
I've
be-
walked around
you
my
gotta practice.
property just to see, and I'm like, ow, ow, ow.
His feet are like a prehistoric riverbed, I
Yeah.
feel like. I mean, those things have seen some things.
Yeah, yeah. But
But-
then you wonder, it's like we weren't born to have shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's where I respect
why is our
Cody.
body like this? You know, it's like we have no hair on us. We're meant to be like in tropical, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yet we're living up in Norway and Iceland, and it's crazy.
It is.
Okay, what's your 10?
What's my 10? Okay, so now that I know I don't have to say specific.
I rattled
names.
off all survival experts.
Okay, so yeah, the colony, I definitely, I know how to do construction, so I could help build things. So I'm one of the 10, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, it's like 10
Yourself
other
plus
people.
10. Okay.
So it's
Okay.
11, I guess, total.
Okay.
10 plus
so,
1.
So I want somebody else that knows how to do construction too.
Okay.
I definitely want to have somebody that can hunt, prepare food, and like, you know, good cooking with that sort of stuff. Let's go, you know, doctor. I'm kind of going off
Okay.
what you gave me a
I
cheat
let you
sheet. Yeah, you did. And let me see here. Somebody who can do like apparel, like what is that, tailoring of some sorts,
Oh,
Bring Lori.
interesting.
right?
Lori would be good for that.
So
Okay.
your clothes is important to you.
Well, yeah, you know, because whatever the weather is, like, you know, we need to be prepared for that.
Okay.
we all know that Arthur needs to look good while he's surviving.
I would like.
You gotta look good.
I would also like to have like a woodworking expert for like bows and arrows and stuff, like some sort of defense. Like I'm assuming that we can't just make bullets easily at this point, so you know.
We don't know that. You could bring a gunsmith.
All right, fine. Then you know I have a.
What number are you at right now?
I'm at 5.
You're at 5,
I'm at
okay.
5. Yeah, it's gonna take a while.
Okay,
Usually things
okay.
take me time.
We won't hold it to you.
No,
You'll probably
that's a great
change
question,
it tomorrow.
though. It's
It
good
is
to
a good
think
question.
about.
That is a good one.
You know, I would definitely want, you know, somebody that is an entertainer. You know, that can help entertain and keep people's spirits high, and let's say somebody who's maybe not religious but has. You know, those type of qualities.
Like a shaman.
Yeah, like a shaman, like that can help, you know, help people feel blessed or, you know, whatever it may be.
I feel like you're describing the whole cast of like The Walking Dead. You got one of everything on there, you know.
Well, that's the point. I mean,
Yeah.
No, it
10's
makes
a lot.
sense. It
10
makes
is a
sense.
lot to work with. That's
Yeah.
a lot to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you at? You're at 7?
Oh, I don't know. Like
you
that was
already
like,
lost. You got 2 more.
So
You got to think about some
or
family.
we
in
are
there,
also. Well, I mean, this is survival, you know.
I suppose.
I'm making
He's
a new.
dissing his family.
family's
I'm
out.
making a new family out there. Okay. So definitely somebody that I can make a family with.
Yes.
You
Okay.
know, so my partner, and then you know, from that I guess I'll have like a little one that I would raise, and that would be the 10th.
Oh, okay.
You know,
okay.
is the little one that you know.
Your
raise
little
up.
one.
Yeah, I suppose.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's a good conversation on the trail. So a lot of times when I'm doing my videos, I'll say, let's do some trail talk, and I'll talk about stuff like that on my videos. You know what I mean? Because because when you're on the trail and you're just looking at trees, your brain starts going, like you're saying, you like end up finding yourself, and that's one of the ones that I ask people if they're on the trail with me, because it's always interesting. Everyone always has different answers.
Yeah.
There's no really right answer, I don't think, because nobody really knows. You know what I mean? Like your people are all A personality. They're all going to fight inside there because they all know what to do.
It's going to be great.
Everyone's like,
Yours
And
is going to be
Kevin's just gonna
entertaining.
be
I hope you film that.
Yes,
That's
that's going
just
to be
gonna be
filmed.
standing there like, God, all these
This is-
men. I
this
just
is
have
epic.
man crushes on all of them. Look at
Yeah.
which one's gonna be the alpha.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, you know, that's part of it.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's like it's nice to hear what everybody's questions are and stuff. And I always try to think of like, what else am I going to talk about? What's another topic as I'm on the trail and stuff, you know? Because like that's when you really get to know somebody. It's like take someone for a hike. You're really going to get to know them. If you take someone to the movies, you're not going to get to know that person. But you take someone on a hike, you're going to get to know that person.
I think we just came up with your podcast, Tammy.
Oh.
It's the Spirit Forest Hikes Talks, however you want to word it, Hikes with Tammy podcast. You're just filming it. You're
There you
out
go.
there with a guest. You're talking. You're seeing the beautiful sights.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is. There it is. As I was saying that I wanted to change my season 6. Like I want it different. I don't want it to be the same videos. I still want it to be a vlog.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I still want to do the vlog type style where I'm talking to the camera. But I want to change it. So that might be an idea.
Hey,
That
you
might
can
be
work
an
it
idea.
in. And, if you need a guest, I'm available. I'll
Okay.
come out there and do a hike.
I was like, you're gonna have to talk and think deep.
I'm in. Sign me
It's all
up.
about deep talks on the hike.
And the beautiful scenery. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds great to me.
That does sound like a good, because with that atmosphere, you're going to bring out a different energy in people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a totally different interview than if they came and sat in here, opposed to like trekking that trail.
Yeah, because who was it we were talking to? I think it was one of our comedian friends that was mentioning doing a podcast around a campfire.
Yeah.
who
Oh,
was
yeah,
that?
that'd be
Who
good.
was- oh,
Because
yeah, it
that's
was,
where you get like that honest,
yeah.
campfire talks.
Yeah.
Everyone's, you're sipping a little whiskey, you get the fire going, everyone's chilling on a log, and you're having a talk. That'd be a good idea too. I forget who mentioned that to us though. We had a guest that said
he
that.
was the comedian that I confused as
Steve
a fighter.
Cantwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
'Cause
Yeah,
there's two
that's a
Steve
good idea.
Cantwells.
That is.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So you're thinking of bringing your podcast outside?
I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
As like a bonus side, because we've been trying to do some different things of adding, bonus content, us shooting, us hanging out up at Spirit Forest, us doing whatever.
Yeah,
you
come up to my land, shoot
We'd
it
love
up
to.
there.
We'd love to.
Yeah,
Can
I'm
we
not
go
sure
shoot-
about all
can
your
we-
microphones
can we go-
working, but we can figure it
I
out.
thought for a moment
We'll
I thought
bring
you were
it.
talking about shooting guns up at your land. I was like, is your land good to go for that? Because I would love to not have to go to a shooting range.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
That'd be so
I am
much
going to
fun.
have an archery range there. I hope to have, because I have some axes that you can throw, so I'm going to have one of those axe
yes.
things. You ever go to one of those things?
Yes, I just did that a couple weeks ago, bad axe throwing.
Well, yeah, was it
so
good?
fun.
Oh, I have never done it, and I've always
Incredibly
wanted to
fun.
do it. I'm like, that would be like the best date, This
It is.
It is. It would be.
No, it
Yeah.
totally is. And there's a
Like my
technique to
kind
it.
of date. Let's go throw axes.
Yeah. The individual better be ready.
Yeah.
Because stepping into axe throwing, it's pretty intense.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty intense. There's definitely a good delivery to it. It took me a couple, just like when I was throwing them sparks, which I think you outperformed me on. I'm going to give them the nod to that.
Oh.
But when
Yeah,
it-
you did pretty good.
Yeah,
All the way
you know.
across the table.
give credit when credit's due. We're competitive in here. But axe throwing, I think I got it dialed.
Oh, you got that one?
Yeah, there's a real specific delivery that the coach kind of taught me. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do it. Should film that one maybe, huh?
I'm
Put that
totally
one
down
on
to
the video.
compete throwing axes. That would be so much fun.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's
So I
do
want
it.
to do that. I'm gonna have it's gonna be more BB gun type
Okay.
range thing, just
Okay.
because
Given
yeah.
the circumstances, makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. There is a range out there to shoot guns out in that area, but I have not done that. I guess I'll have to figure that out if I'm gonna go hunting, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe you should come on the next DCPC Gone Shoot and come shoot some guns with us.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun. We take my AR out, do a little 9mm. I know you got some
I don't. Well,
you
I'll
might have some
figure it out.
things that you might be able to, bring, or you can shoot my stuff. That's fine too. But we have fun with it.
It's so much fun. Yeah, firearms are to be respected.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But cleaning out the guns was a lot of fun. I did that with Kevin. He showed me how to clean out the guns,
It's important.
and yeah, hunting is, oh man, I don't know. There's just so many good things that we've been talking about right now. Like I had different ideas, and like I was brainstorming. I'm like honestly thinking out loud. But oh yeah, that's what it was. So season effing 6 is on the horizon.
Yes.
I'm super excited for what Spirit Forest is doing, and like the freedom that you're gonna have with the channel coming up soon. Like it's gonna be really, really good. So I'm just really happy to like hear like the ideas, and I mean, Kevin and I, we will always do free consulting. Like if you want to throw ideas past us or anything, we'll totally hear it out and be like, yeah, like that sounds good, or because to create is so much fun. It's like
It is.
you're starting with nothing, and you get to create something that can help others.
Yeah.
And
Incredible.
And that is something that humbles me every day coming in here, because I mean, I share my stories on here. Kevin shares his stories, like personal stuff, and it's scary to be vulnerable. And I feel that if we can be vulnerable, then it'll help people to see that it's okay. Yeah. Because it is hard for everybody. Like life is never always going to be perfect, and you know, problems are always going to keep coming, or challenges. Let's call them challenges are going to keep coming. So to have the platform to do the things you've done, I mean, I've watched some of your videos and they like really touched me, and I like had some emotional moments.
Yeah, which one you said? You said something.
So it was Sam was your stepdad? Was that it?
Yeah.
That video where you did that hike?
Oh,
like,
I cried editing
even
that.
thinking about that video,
totally knew. Yeah.
Even thinking about it, like, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that was a good one. That was a really good one. I feel like stuff like that is really powerful.
Yeah, that one was really powerful. And for those of you that don't know about that video, is I had my stepdad died, and so the family was able to give me ashes, and I climbed up to a peak, and I was able to release them, and it was like so emotional for me that I was like, I wasn't gonna film it, but then I was like, you know, I want to remember this moment as well, and it was tough. I knew I couldn't really talk on the camera, so I did a little voiceover. So I had to wait.
I ugly cried during that, but it was so good because the views that, like, you know, the landscape that you showed, the music that you included, and the narration, like the meaning behind it all was just, it was well done. It was a well done video that was heartfelt, and that's what you do with a lot of your content though. Is like it's genuine. You know, so. Everybody listening in, you got to check out Spirit Forest. She's killing it. She's driven. She's doing things, and it's totally worth checking out and listening to.
Yeah, I agree. It's been really fun watching your channel progress, and you know, shout out to my mother because she's been a fan of yours for a long time. I mean, she's probably got the top fan badge on your you know, Facebook page if I had to guess. But you know, 3 years ago she's like, you got to try to get Tammy on. You know, and she just loves your stuff.
That's
and
great.
you know, she just went through a major back surgery this summer, has been laid up for a while, and you know, your videos bring her a lot of joy.
That's good. That's good. You know, there's a lot of people, like I've had people that were on their deathbed, you know, and they're like, I don't, you know, they're in the hospital and they're channel surfing, and they're like, you know what, I don't want to watch this crap on TV. They're like, I want to go on a hike, you know, and she's like, they're like, you're taking me on this hike. And she's like, I know I only have a week to live, or whatever it may be. I mean, some emails I got, like, I was ugly crying. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, oh my gosh. And that's what motivates me to keep doing it. You know what I mean? And it's like,
because it means more than
rewarding.
It means more than you do.
Yeah,
it's like you're doing something bigger
bigger
than
than
yourself.
Yeah, and it's like I want to take people on these hikes that can't go on these hikes, or I want to inspire someone that can go on the hike that's just sitting on the couch to get up and go. Yeah, you know, and I do. I try to, I sell my shirts and stuff, and I'm collecting that money, and I give it to Wilderness on Wheels. That's over in Grant, Colorado, and they have, for people that are in wheelchairs and they can't hike and stuff, they have a boardwalk where they go up this mountain, and it's so beautiful that I donate money to that charity. And I'm hoping that they'll open again, and I'll be able to do that all over again now that COVID is kind of, let's just say it's graying out. I don't know. I hope so. I really do. But, you know, I'm hoping I'll still be able to donate to them. And it's the proceeds that I get from the shirts. I mean, what I do on YouTube, I don't do it for money. You know what I mean? I do it because I love to create. Like, I'm an artist. You know, you love to create. You love to talk to people. I have met the most wonderful people. I met my best friend by being on YouTube, you know, so it's awesome. I just love it.
And that's really what it comes down to, is ultimately in the day you're getting joy, fulfillment, enlightenment out of it. You're helping people, and that's the beauty of it. I think that we share that kind of same thing here, being creative, being able to touch people, help people. It's just incredible, you know, and I love the journey, and this journey has just begun.
Yeah.
There's more to be done. There's more weeks to be had, Tammy.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
You know, every day that I kind of struggle through some things, like, you know, we're getting tested every day. Like I expect to get tested every single day, and it ain't peaches and cream, all right? You know, I ain't looking for something sweet either, so that works for me. But like this life, you know, it's what you make of it, really, and it's what you focus on, because like the good and bad are always going to be consistent. They're all always there. It's good to be aware. It's good to have knowledge, but you know, let's not get overly obsessed in things that upset us. Like one thing that I really want to challenge everybody with this week is don't complain about anything until the next episode. Like, if you got something that's bothering you, figure it out and then move forward. Like, let's stop complaining out loud. We can complain within, but let's not burden other people's ears with negativity. We are capable and able to solve problems. So that's my challenge for everybody this week is no complaining in the next 7 days out loud to anybody. I think we're all capable of doing that. And we might find out some new solutions in ourselves that we didn't realize were there. So let's do that.
It's a good challenge.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah,
I like
no
that.
complaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good challenge. You know, we got edits and uploads due tomorrow, so that means no complaining from me. You know, sometimes I get fired up.
Sometimes Kevin does a lot of the work and he complains how I'm just sitting there.
So that's gonna be a good challenge for me tomorrow. I will commit to it, of course. You know, and we're heading into Christmas, so it's the holiday season.
Yes.
And it's coming quick.
Yeah, and you know, there's been a lot of hate in the world lately, and I think that for my season 6, I want to spread love. You know, it's like kindness. I think that's going to be what my focus is. I know that you ask a question usually at the end of a lot of your podcasts, and before I would say it's about your purpose, or I think one year was about your purpose, the next year was about challenge yourself, and this year for me. I know you haven't asked the question yet.
No, so what's the advice for humanity?
There you go. The
Tammy?
advice it's be kind. You know,
Okay.
because there's just so many people that are just so mean.
It's true.
And like you can even see it on the roads lately. Like I told my daughter the other day, I'm like, I am so sorry you have to drive during this time. There are people that are just like all over the road and cutting you off and flipping
wild.
you off, and you know, I'm just like, just be kind.
Yeah.
And so my focus this year is, in my videos, is going to be love and kindness. That's what I'm going to go for.
Great message. And
Season 6 is really going to be doing some
epic.
things, yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
they've
I
all
think
been
so.
epic up to this point, of course. I think
Yeah.
every one of your videos have touched somebody, and you know, that's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And that's what I want. So that's really what I want.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
We love having you in.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
thank
It's
you.
so much fun. We always do cool stuff. You know, it's become a tradition, I feel like, around the holiday spirit.
Yeah.
That we do a DCPC Spirit Forest kind of podcast, you know, and I
Yeah,
think we
yeah.
keep that going. I want to get up to your property, though. I think that would be a lot of fun to do something up there.
Yeah, you're welcome to come up there. Come
We would
up
love
there
to.
and-
We'll bring the cameras.
We'll plan it out.
Yeah.
We'll plan it out so, you know, that all makes sense and we could have a good time with the day and everything. Shoot, I'll even bring my tools, and if you need a couple little things done, like
We'll come swing some hammers. Yeah, hey.
Well, actually, I'll just put you to work. I'm like, you're going to be chopping some wood. 'Cause I got a lot of wood to chop.
Oh my God, I could see Kevin over there. How many of you chopped in half?
Hey, I'm all good with that.
Yeah,
That's
we
like
get competitive.
competition. That's good.
We'll set something up for sure. But yeah, the fact remains, it's always fun having you on.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for taking some time to come down here and check out the new studio. We'll
Yeah,
do it
it's
again.
nice. Yeah,
you
great.
know how it goes.
Yep.
So, listeners, we love you. If you're just listening, you need to watch on YouTube so you can watch us throwing some sparks on this episode. That was pretty fun.
Absolutely, check out Spirit Forest, her YouTube.
We'll include all that in the show notes
Completely
down
kills
below.
it, yeah.
As always, you know where to find us. You know where to find Spirit Forest. This train keeps on rolling, guys. We got Kylie Burson studio next week, meteorologist from Fox 31. So we're going to be closing out the year strong, talking a little weather. And what a better way to do it? Holiday season. We got some snow coming, hopefully. And you already know, be good to yourselves.
You deserve it.